Oh, good morning. Welcome to our solo walk for May 13th. Beautiful day here. I'm just sitting here like a bump on a log, literally sitting on my log pile. And just taking a little sit down, a little break, and just going thinking about a message I've been sharing where I can here and there over the last year and a half, 2 years or whatever, or more. And one I think I've said on a couple of my videos before, but it's time to get healthy and serious, mind, body, and spirit. But I've been kind of thinking about the body part of it this last couple days, and especially today, and that is thinking about things and you know, the way, none of this, what I say, is medical advice or anything. It's just my viewpoint and my thoughts. But as a society, you know, I see us medicating, processing, pasteurizing, sanitizing, comfortizing, convenientizing, going for the convenience and stuff of all that, and making ourselves the sickest society, sickest humanity we've ever been. And I just want to maybe share a bit of my story, and that because I've done the same thing over the years, and that as most, and that as I was when I was I've always been a big guy. When I was in high school, grade 8 and 9, wrestling, it was all I could do to stay in the 194 class, and I joined the Army at 17, weighed 235 pounds, and over the years it crept up to over 300 pounds. But in my mind, I just said, well, that's just me. I'm a big guy, and I carry it well. And you know, that's what I told myself for 60 years. And that just big guy, and I carry it well. And it was all from inappropriate supplies, I guess, foods and ways of doing things, and that I always as I probably 25 years ago, that my doctor that I was going to, he was concerned about my weight, so sent me to a dietitian, and I went to her, and we went faithfully for a good year, and stuck pretty faithful to the diet she had prescribed, and which was basically the food pyramid. Never lost an ounce, and I've been fortunate over the years that I really didn't prescribe to the pharmaceutical industry at all, and I never took many drugs, but and not for anything, but probably around that same time as they're concerned about my weight, they got high blood pressure, and so put me on some statins for my high blood pressure. I took that for a little while and just gave up on it, and because it really didn't make a whole lot of difference, and I just continued on, and thinking I'm eating fairly healthy. I eat porridge in the morning, or whole grain breads, or some good pastas, or that. But my Cheerios and cornflakes and Special K and that type of thing, thinking it's heart healthy, good food. So, yeah, right. And that it's all processed junk. But I had ate that way all my life, and that, and as things progressed in that, maybe 8 years ago, went in for driver's license medical, and they thought that my sugar was high and that I had type 2 diabetes, so they put me on metformin. That didn't agree with me, and that I was on the road at the time, and the metformin didn't quite work for being on the road, so I just quit taking it, and just to hell with it, just continued to live my life the way I always had. And that, and again, my size was one of the contributing factors, but it was all lifestyle and all choice, and that got me to that point. Anyway, I continued on, and probably 4 years ago, I guess it was, something like that, and that I'd got to the point where I couldn't stay awake on the road type thing, and so I'd stopped driving, and I'd come home. It was in May of, I think 4 years ago, maybe 5. I think 4 years ago, 21, and that, and I spent the summer laying on the couch, not being able to do much, no energy, no nothing, and hardly able to function. And it was a smoky year around here, so we put it off to smoke, and then I put it off to I don't know, the heat. It was a hot summer too, and come around, I think it was in August, and that I'd one morning got up and I said to my wife, I better go to the hospital, and I said, or else I don't think I'm going to make it through the day. Went in, and the young doctor just took a quick look at me, and excellent young man. And we got a great medical system as far as critical care, and that I stand, behind that. But as far as some of the other stuff, it's a little bit on the poor side, I guess you could call it. But anyway, he diagnosed me with heart failure, and after some tests and so on and so forth, and that find my heart ejection fraction, I guess they call it. A good heart ejects 60% of the blood, I guess, and mine does 20% at that time. So they put me on some drugs, and they checked with the blood work, they checked my A1C, and that was up around 9.4, so they wanted to put me on drugs for the diabetes. I told them to stick it, I'll figure that out my own. And I did take the medications for the heart failure because I really didn't know too much on that subject, and that, so, well, I didn't know much on the diabetes neither, but I figured we could figure something out. So, I got home here and figure out the diabetes. I said, well, I got to do some research, and I ended up, like I said, this isn't medical advice. This is just what worked for me and how it worked, but I come across the keto diet, so, and then I come across a doctor on, I guess it was on YouTube even, this Dr. Ken Berry, and Sten Ekberg was another fella, and that I come across that that kind of spoke to me, and I had started on the keto diet, and I come across with Ken Berry, the carnivore diet, which suited me a little bit better, and that because I'm not a big fan of veggies and so on and so forth. But anyway, I went on the carnivore diet. Meat, eggs, and cheese is basically what I eat, and I went on intermittent fasting. I went on 18 and 6, 18 hours of not eating, and than the six-hour eating window. And that I just went breakfast around 10 and supper around 4, and that's all that we had. And again, meat, eggs, and cheese is what I went to. And got away from all the processed foods, got away from the grains, got away from oils. Like, I even used to use canola oil because it was supposedly good for you. They market it, and it's all lies. All that stuff is not good for you and that. But anyway, I stuck to that diet. I've lost 110 pounds. My A1C, the last I had it checked was a couple years ago now, and that I was down around 5.2, something like that. And I did check my blood for a little while after that, and I'd be consistently around 5s in the 4s, and that. So it's the diabetes has looked after itself. Another thing that I had over the years, for 20 years, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I use CPAP machine. I haven't used that in 5 years, and that. But since I've started eating better and lost the weight, that's gone too. And for the last year now, I've done some research on the drugs that they had given me for the heart failure. And none of it was really for doing anything for the heart. It was, well, it was, but it wasn't directly for the heart. It just slowed the heart, so it didn't beat as fast, and kept my blood pressure low. And the blood pressure was so low that you'd stand up and almost pass out, and I get dizzy every time you stood up. And heart rate was down around 32 on the rest. And the blood pressure might be 90 over 50, 105 over 50, type thing. And that, so the blood pressure was really low. But anyway, a year ago now, I weaned myself off of the medications, and started taking, vitamin D tablets and CoQ10 and a couple other supplements and that. But it's I feel better now than I have in 40, 50 years, at least 40 years. And that, and like, if I guess what got me thinking about that, we were talking about plants this morning, and because of their gardens growing, and our apple tree and our plum trees growing, and my wife was saying about so many flowers on the apple tree. She was concerned it's a new first year it's flowered, and she says if it has as many apples on it as flowers, it won't hold the apples because it's such a small tree. And I was saying, well, our job is just to give it the proper nutrients and place to grow, and the tree will look after itself. Well, the same thing's true with us as people, as humans. We just give it the proper place to grow and the proper nutrients, and it'll look after itself. Our body can heal itself. It's amazing, I after I went off the medications, I checked my blood pressures and stuff for a few months just to make sure, and I'll be maybe 110 over 75 type thing all the time now, in there somewhere. So yeah, it's if we just give ourselves the proper fuels and the proper environment, and that, we've been poisoning ourselves with food, water, the air they're putting into the air. It's just surprising that we even survive at all. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just it's just time to get healthy and serious about it. And I don't do everything perfect. No, I don't. I still smoke, which is not good for you. yeah, that's probably something I'll work on, but I'm working on other things too. But, 5 years ago, I couldn't walk down the end of the driveway. And even a couple years ago when I was on the meds, I couldn't walk that far because I had no energies and that. And now I go for half, 3/4 hour walks 3, 4 times a day with my pup, and out doing stuff around outside here. And like I said, I feel better than I have in 40 years. So to me, it's just proof that if you give yourself the proper fuel and the proper environment, we can heal ourselves and that. So do the best you can, I guess is what I'm saying, to make yourself healthy physically. And I think we'll maybe on another video talk about some of the other, mind and spirit too. But physically, just do your best. Give yourself good fuel, clean water, get out in nature, take your shoes off, get grounded, and that as much as you can. Enjoy this fantastic world that we live in, this earth, this realm, whatever you want to call it, and enjoy the birds singing, the sunshine, what you can get of it with the crap they're spraying in the air. But get what you can, and just enjoy yourself. Give yourself the proper fuel. Give yourself the love that your body needs. It means a lot, and the right mindset when you're doing it too. It really makes a difference. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my story. I just thought that it might make a little difference for somebody. Like I said, it's not health advice. It's just the story of my little trip, and with 4 or 5 years of heart failure, and I'm better now than I was before. So you can take it for what you can get out of it, but that's basically it. Just do the best you can with what you have where you're at. And if we all did that, and we all tried to be the best you can be the best me I can be, is what I try to do every day. And that, not perfect at it at all by no means, but I do try. And I think if we all could do that, I think we could change a whole lot of stuff in this world. Anyway, yeah, we'll just leave it there. Know that you're loved. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you got this. Give your loved ones a hug. Tell them they're loved, and know that you're loved. Appreciate you spending a bit of time with me, listening to me, and I will see you again. Much love, many blessings. Bye-bye.